Webisode take 2. Ran out of time on the last one. Let's try this again, shall we? Welcome to a brand new webisode. Thanks for donating for Honor Flight last week, which is why I took the week off from doing the webisode, because we were focusing on Honor Flight, and we ended up raising some $3,000 because of your efforts. So thank you very much for that. So the webisodes are back. I took Monday off. It's funny, I take a day off, and people instantly think that it's because I'm sick. That's totally fine. It was President's Day. If the Daytona 500 was rain delayed, I wanted to make sure I had the day off since my dad was visiting 5 years in a row now. My dad and I have gotten together for the Daytona 500, and even though none of our drivers finished the race, can't even talk. It still was a great race. So, anyways, back to the webisodes. I had to go out and run some errands. I got my hair cut. Got the oil changed in Melinda's car. She's heading to SeaWorld later this week since Logan has a few days off for rodeo days. It's getting hot. And then I had to pick up some milk. So I ended up going to Target, which seems like an odd place to get milk, but I was looking for something else. And so while I'm there, and I'm getting to a point, I'm waiting in line, and this woman in front of me obviously was confused about having new checks from the bank and not having your address on them. Some places take them, some places don't. And this was just causing this thoroughly confusing issue that was backing up the line over into the little girls' clothing area. So the woman working the register said, I only had 2 gallons of milk. And she says, you know, why don't you go over to the customer service area because they're doing 10 items or less over there. And I said, okay, fine. So I go over there. The woman in the customer service area is dealing with somebody else who's thoroughly confused about something that she bought and was trying to return. And then she bought something online and she got it, and it was this rack. It was a metal rack, and from what I could tell by the picture on it, it was meant to like hold either cleaning supplies or like an iron or something like this, right? Well, there was a sticker, you know, sort of the sticker that was attached to it describing what it was. Well, when she tried peeling it off, it didn't come off all the way, so it had that white, you know, leftover stuff. And apparently, rather than go through the effort of trying to clean it off herself, she decided to return the item, thus creating a longer length of time that I had to stand there and wait. In the meantime, the woman with the check problem has now moved through, and the people that were behind me are being helped, and I'm still standing there holding 2 gallons of milk. Now, my point is this. We, the family, my dad and my family, went to church on Sunday. And the guy preaching was talking about crashes in your life and how you react to those crashes, various problems that you have. It was a really good sermon. But the one thing that I took away from it, and it's the one thing that I was sharing with Logan and my son, my 8-year-old, 4-year-old doesn't quite get it yet, but I try, was, you know, it's not the problems that we face or the issues that we face, it's how we react to them that ultimately makes a difference. Now, I had every right to be upset at Target and to be ticked off. You know, I'm standing there holding 2 gallons of milk. My fingers have gone numb because they're cold. At one point, I did actually set them on the ground. I'm not that stupid. So I could have gotten upset, and I could have gotten angry, and I could have gotten frustrated. But I remembered back to the weekend and what I was trying to tell Logan. I just decided that, no, you know what? This is, you know, how I react to this is going to determine inevitably the outcome of this. And I just said, yeah, stuff happens, and the lady at the counter was incredibly apologetic, and you know, I said, "Hey, man, stuff happens. It's all right," and didn't let it get to me, and didn't get angry over it. We need to do that more often, and I'm not just talking about personal circumstances. Obviously, personal circumstances are important. We need to do that when following the issues and politics as well. How we react is almost more important than the thing that we're reacting to or the reason why we're reacting. There were some stories recently, and it happens quite often, and I'm not going to be specific on this because it does happen often, where people are getting upset because other individuals who they agree with politically, okay, maybe conservatives, might have a different take on an issue. Not a major issue. You know, I mean, I understand big issues, okay, and I think there are things that obviously warrant getting frustrated over. If there's somebody that you respect, and this is a particular issue that's a big issue for you, but just minor issues that really, at the end of the day, don't make a huge difference in terms of your overall belief in conservatism or being a Republican. And it's like they get so close to something that they can't see anything at all. I love that analogy. And then they react. And everybody's got a right to react how they want to react, but ultimately they end up doing more harm, in my opinion, than they do good. They end up, you know, calling the individual names, and you know, and now saying, well, I don't have any respect for him anymore, and I can't believe it, and oh, he's a traitor and all this, and when really it was one little issue, and not even a big issue, and they reacted inappropriately, in my opinion, and it happens all the time. How we react is really, really important, and we need to pick and choose, you know, what we're gonna take, what we're gonna deem important, and what we're gonna fight, and what we're gonna let go. And sometimes people need to realize that they need to let go, because they're never gonna find the perfect candidate or elected official if they jive with you politically, and they're with you 99% of the time. I'll even give you 95% of the time. Then that 5% to 1%, I think we can give a little leeway on. Again, depending on the issue. Don't hear me wrong. I'm not going middle of the road on you by any stretch of the imagination. But people are overreacting, and people need to realize that how they react makes a big difference. So I hope that makes sense. There's the return to the webisode. I'm gonna go make myself a salad because it sounds really, really good. We got this beef, this shredded beef from Costco. You get it in a big container. It takes like 6 minutes to cook. Yeah, it's like the best beef ever. But speaking of which, you know that it's just full of salt and sodium, so I try not to have that much, right? All right. Junior didn't do well on the 500. That's okay. Off to Phoenix, which I hope to hang with a bunch of you guys this coming weekend. New episodes later in the week. Thanks for watching. Bye. If this thing turns off.